Alright guys, went ahead and started the timer. This message is for the sign of Taurus or Taurus Crosswatcher. Here we go. So I don't know what we're going to title it just yet, but I'm going to say it like this. I don't know if this is you, Taurus or Taurus Crosswatcher, or if this is another person, but I'm going to word it this way just because I don't know if it's you or not. Someone here has decided to give another person a second chance. Second chance, third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance, sixth chance. Now that does not mean two people are getting back together. Could be two people who are back together now after plenty of lies and betrayal. Or it's just second chances and, well, I have to, because here we go with the vehicle again. Every time it happens though, I always know it's always on the right time. Okay? This is definitely going to be part of the message. So let me use an example of giving someone another chance. Someone here could be like, well, you know, we do have a child together, or we do have kids together, or we have whatever, some sort of something together. So it's like, just for let's say it's kids though, or a kid. For the kid's sake, the kid's sake, we should, because, and it's like, have you ever heard a person, I've known a lot of them actually. I'm wondering if this is you. Some of you may have known someone who, like, maybe it's your own parents, you know, when you grew up, you know, you realize that you're glad your parents got a divorce, or you're glad your parents didn't work out, or they didn't get back together because it was toxic AF, because they fought all the time, because it was always kind of aggressive and loud, or very neglectful and abusive, which can be, neglect is also a form of abuse. Just somebody here, you know, maybe that's like a childhood trauma wound somebody needs to heal. Like, some people may see that and have grown up with that, and they learn, just because I biologically have a child or children with someone doesn't mean that we have to be forced to be around each other 24/7. If it's toxic, it's toxic, you know. I don't always have to be there for this person. I don't always have to, it doesn't have to be unequal give and take. I don't always have to believe everything this person says or allow them to manipulate me. Whatever it is, you know, we don't have to stay together. We don't have to do any of that, because people can say all day it's for the sake of their child, and this could offend people, but I don't mean any offense by this. This is the honest truth. You know what I mean? It is what it is. That's facts. And a lot of people would understand that because they've been through this, where it's like, just because something happens between two people doesn't mean that, like, you've got to force to make it work. You've got to make it work because of this, or because two people believe they're soulmates or twin flames, that they've got to be together. It's like, no, wrong. Like, so you could have someone here who's like, no matter what, they're constantly allowing another person to convince them that, like, you know, I don't know, they have some sort of belief. Someone here needs to change their beliefs when it comes to this. I'm not saying anything else, but somebody that I'm picking up on during this video has a belief that is unhealthy, and it stems back from a childhood wound that they could even be aware of, but they're not working on. And it's like, my parents weren't even good for each other. They weren't good, and they stayed together. And you know, if I think about that, I could see that, like, oh, it really wasn't a good idea. It really wasn't, you know. I don't know. Somebody is practicing something that's unhealthy when it comes to another person due to the fact that they have a child or children together. And they think that it's okay because of this. And it's like, no, it's absolutely not. It's not healthy at all. And your child or children may grow up and be like, hey, I really would have rather my parents not even dealt with each other, because it put me in an awkward situation, and I was always being, like, torn between the two of them. And you know what I mean? They can still love both people, both parents, equally. They can still, you know what I mean, without having to be like, my parents get along, they're best friends. Like, why not just be honest with them and be like, well, we're not best friends, and not have to talk bad about each other, and not just be like, no, it is what it is. I have my life, they have theirs. You know, we're in a whole different time now. Like, people are normalizing all kinds of things that were not normalized before, that were taboo before. They're like totally normalized now. So like, how come we can't normalize people living separate lives and being comfortable with that and being fine with it? Who cares what the other one does? Y'all ain't together no more, and it's toxic when you are. That's what I feel, right? Something here is like and I'm gonna tell you what I feel is coming. Somebody's already done it. How did I start this message? I said somebody's already given someone a second chance. Meaning either they're like believing them again, feeling bad for this person again, due to a child or children they share together. This is very specific and it's very clear. Or straight up getting back with somebody, you know? And it's going to be like, someone's going to realize real quick, like, that it was the wrong move. Wrong move. Somebody's got some sort of beliefs, and you can have somebody that has childhood wounds that can be raised or grow up to believe two different ways. Like, let's say someone here, their parents stayed together, but it was very neglectful, or it was very abusive, and there was a lot of arguing and fighting and a lot of dishonesty and cheating and a lot of judgment and a lot of, we're not really happy with each other, but because we have kids or because we have a child, we decide that we're gonna, no, that's, you know, but then they see that and they may be like, well, I'm definitely never gonna do that. This is not someone who hasn't tried. This is someone who absolutely has tried. Not only even maybe to stay with a person who wronged them because for the sake of a child or children, but to make it work over time, and it just never did. It was constantly the same thing, same lies, still coming out, still lies, still some this person still don't know about, and it's like, you know, what's it gonna take? But then you have some people who will grow up with an unhealthy, toxic relationship, family, and then the family divorces, and it's like, I'm so glad. I am so glad. And if they would have tried to get back together, or, you know, whatever they decided to do, and that they kept sleeping together, I don't know, and I don't want to know. I'm just glad they didn't get back together, and I had to sit there and see that. They were much happier apart. I'm so glad they didn't stay together. It was a nightmare, or it would have been a nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be completely blunt. I mean, what am I not? Somebody has childhood trauma they need to work on. We all do. But they're not working on it, and they may even think that they've worked on it. This could be a very mature person too, who has their shit together, or seemingly, but they've got some wounds on the inside of something. Could have even been like an absent parent, an abandoning parent, you know, where someone's like, I wish they would have fought harder, I wish they would have, and it's like, you think that, but everything turned out the way that it was meant to. As hard as that is to accept and hear. I'm adopted. I've seen a lot of shit. Do you think once that I've looked back and been like, I wish that my toxic biological mom and dad would have stayed together? No. Even though I wasn't even raised by them, there ain't a snowball's chance in hell that I would have ever wished that, because they were not at all good for each other. I mean, they did some like awful, 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 awful things. Awful things together. I'm talking awful. Like, there's one on the top of my head. I could say it right now, but I just don't think it's the time. I'm definitely putting it in a book, though. But, like, oh, man. When I found out about this, I was like, that is, wow. Like, thank God I was adopted out, you know. Jesus. I feel like someone here, you know, they must be a masochist or a glutton for punishment. And I mean, I don't even hate saying that, because it's the truth. At this point, someone's actions, it's like, how many times is someone going to have to tell them that who they're dealing with is not great and is a liar and a manipulator? Like, someone's dealing with like a really conniving individual here, and let's say it has nothing to do with two people having children together. It could be friends. It's like, you know, good and well, you cannot trust this person. You know, damn good and well, they're not telling you the truth. You know, damn good and well. Somebody knows damn good and well that whoever they've been dealing with, whoever they've been allowing second chance, their chances, 45th chances, 125 chances, whatever, it's not, they're not going to change. You know what would make them probably change, and still not a guarantee, is if you pulled back your energy and said, enough is enough. I'm not going to enable this anymore. I'm not going to force you to change. I'm not going to say, because some people will think, well, then they need someone to be there for them and love them. You can still love somebody and be there for them and establish a boundary and be like, this is not healthy for me. I'm not doing this. you know? There's so much coming to me right now that I could say, but it's almost like frustrating. I feel like whoever this is, they're going to have to learn the hard way, even though they've been learning the hard way. This could be someone you know doing this. They're going to have to learn the hard way. Or maybe you've seen this play out before your eyes. Someone that you know was constantly giving someone a second chance, constantly just, you know, trying when this person was just shitting on them or whatever, you know? And then you're going to see eventually something's going to happen if it hasn't already. Could be past tense, could already happen. And it's going to wake this person up and they're going to finally take their power back. It's the next thing that happens is going to be so major that someone's going to be like, okay, they're finally going to get it. And when they do, it's going to be like a massive knock upside the head from the universe. And then they're going to say, oh my God, like, I should have seen it before now. Or why didn't I see it before now? It's like you did see it, but you didn't believe it. You didn't accept it. You didn't want to. You had some sort of childhood belief or trauma from the past, and you just thought that it had to be this way because you grew up this way, or because this didn't happen, or because this did happen. And it's like, just stop everything that you knew before. It's either good for you or not good for you, you know? And I feel like that it is what it is. I mean, you know, it is what it is. There's some sort of toxic relationship that somebody has here with another. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a family member. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be a spouse's parents or siblings or friends, or, you know, it's just connections where it's like, I've let this pass. I've dismissed, because I just turned my alarm off. I've dismissed this action, these actions, these behaviors too much, too long. For the sake of what? I'm not going to do it anymore. I feel like someone has been so guilt tripped here. Like, they're so used to being guilt tripped, or they have this like guilty conscience of like letting something go, or, you know, and it's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to make excuses for someone. The next thing that happens, because it's inevitable, the next time someone gets hurt by the same individual, or sees someone's true colors because they've already seen them, it'll be the last time. And the last time in the sense of it's going to be the one that wakes them up. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a doozy. Maybe I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. Some of you could be dealing with a person who thinks that, I don't know how you know this individual, but they think that they can just come and go out of an ex of theirs life. They can just come when they want and leave when they want, and come when they want and leave when they want. It could be your own ex if it's you. Come when they want and leave when they want. I mean, at this point, you can make a rap out of it. Make $1 million off of a song, or write a book off of it. Anyway, so this person may be under the impression that they're just going to be able to waltz back into this person's life and everything's going to be hunky-dory, but they're going to be met with a rude awakening when this person, or when you say, no, not only am I not doing it, but I'm not even opening the door. It's no. I'm not holding a grudge. I'm not angry at you. Absolutely not. I'm not perfect. Have you seen my life? This is what I feel. I feel like this is a very mature person. It's like, no. But I'm tired. I've learned my lessons the hard way, and I'm not trying to learn them anymore. I forgive it. I forgive you. I forgive myself. I forgive the whole damn situation, whatever it is, but it's a no. Like, I think somebody's going to be met with a no, or being turned down for something, and it's going to be a massive eye-opener, like a huge wake-up call for someone. For both, I feel, but mainly the one who kind of expected that they could just get what they wanted every time, or that one person would just always take them back or always believe them, and it's like, wrong. You highly underestimated me. Or that they wouldn't stand up for themselves, something like that, you know? Like, somebody may be freaking out here thinking like, well, that's fine, you know, if things don't work out with us, because I still have this person I could go to, and it's like, you think. Even, I'm hearing even the third party don't want somebody. It's like they're going to go right back to this person. This person's going to be like, I'm not even talking to you. I feel nothing. I'm over you completely. See what I'm saying? Like, it could be a woman here or a man. I'm seeing a woman though who could be worried that somebody who's leaving her is going to go right back to their ex, but it's like they've done this a million times before, trust me. And maybe this woman was under the impression that, you know, the ex was so bad and this and that, until they realized that the ex was probably the most level-headed and did what she had to do, vice versa. This is very specific. All right, I'm going to go now. Love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.